What's up, JJ? I just got my new blower for the Ford set up, and I don't know, maybe you can hear the difference. But I have it running really low right now because I'm doing thermocycles on this one. But, like, it's a world and a half of difference. It's ridiculous. And then we're going to be working on this one. Yeah, it's like a comfortable level of noise. But I got this. This is going to be the bolster for that, and then there's going to be some kind of K-bar style handle here. But I need to get the stop pins set up. Pin mic right there when it's open. Yeah, it's super quiet. Actually, that's manageable. Senior Assassin, I've never heard of it before I mentioned it. Basically, it's a game where, at like a high school or something, where just the seniors, obviously, can sign up. And if they sign up, they're obviously, consenting to play the game. And then each person who's playing will be assigned a target, which is like another person who's playing the game, and they have to, at my school at least, the method is silly string, so you have to spray them with silly string to eliminate their target, and then they can move on to the next round. And that means that like each person also has someone hunting them, trying to get them with silly string. So yeah, that's the thing. I didn't get caught, but I also didn't get my guy, so I'm out. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially if you do well. probably clean up first. It's a lot better if there's like a lot of people. Like, I think there was some 300 people playing in the game at my school. And it's a lot better, like, if there's a good chance you don't even know who your target is or anything about them. So, yeah. Where the heck? Ah, there it is. No. Is this a good spot for clothes to be? I hope so. But I just drilled it. Come on. Now I just need to file in that. Instead of filing aimlessly down for like years. This one's sharper. Check on the knife. These faces here, all at the flats, that's as forged. He beveled the whole entire thing. Yeah, JJ, I don't know if you're still here, but I just hit, like yesterday, the requirements for partial monetization, except for one, because I'm not 18 yet, and apparently you need to be 18 to be monetized on YouTube. So now I'm just waiting like 3 weeks until I'm 18 so I can get monetized. There we go. Put that up there. Actually, no, I need to get the oil. up that railroad spike so it can preheat the oil for the quench. both actually. I got a folder that I'm working on, friction folder, that I'm working on the mechanism for. That's this. And then I'm also doing thermocycles on a little fixed right there. That's probably cooled down by now. Pretty much. This. That's just preheating the quench oil for this. I'll let that cool down a bit more. Put it over here so I can actually tell when it's cool. It's getting there. You bladesmith yourself? Oh yeah. What kind of stuff do you make? Most of the time. Are we fixed so far? Take care of that little bump right there that's preventing this from floating. Fixed are cool. Friction folders are the only... Well, I made one. I think it... Yeah, what's it called? Slip joint. I made one slip joint, and it took me like 8 months and way too many attempts, so I kind of swore off those. But these little friction folders, like this is a relatively complicated one, and it's still like, it's manageable for a pretty low-level smith such as myself. There's just a lot of file work and stuff, so you gotta be patient. But if you've made, if you've made like Bowies and stuff, then and cleaning up the bolsters and stuff on those and making guards, you're familiar with file work, I'm sure. Yeah, springs are good. Oh, for sure. Actually, no, what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill these holes already all the way through. Oh, yeah. Like this relatively simple folder, it's just like, well, it is Damascus, but like low layer Damascus friction folder with a somewhat complex grind and like a shotgun shell bolster in walnut. This is going to be like $250, $300. And that's only because it's for a friend of mine who commissioned it like over a year ago. If it was just like someone now who came up to me and was like, hey, make me this, it would probably be like 400 something. Okay, got that. Better, but it's cleaned up. Yo, what's up, Arthur? How's it going? We're working on this guy. Oh, I can't even fit through there. No liners. I'm just carving from the block of walnut, which I've done before, and you need like an extra third, like the total length of the handle, in order for there to be enough structural integrity. But it works. It looks amazing. And especially if you have like a smaller blade, you don't end up with a ridiculously sized handle. Nah. It painted over, and unless you're in like a softwood, like it stays good. Because what you do, it's better if you have like a brass sleeve or bearing bronze sleeve or something in here. But when you paint it over into the wood, and you should glue it in so that it's not rotating in the wood. It's the steel on the steel, so that way it doesn't wear out the hole in the wood. Oh, I've been good, Arthur. I've been good. I'm just working away over here. Okay, I'm just having some law issues, but that's it. Alright. Hope you're doing well. Oh, almost stuck in the floor. Yeah, a little friction folder for a friend of mine. I'm also working on this. That's pretty much clean. This little mini Bowie hunting knife thing I forged yesterday from, it's about the right size. From a piece of bearing race. The bearing race was just already tapered like that, so the whole entire knife is like beveled like that, even the bolster and the tang and stuff, and it's going to be really cool. That's pretty much good. Yeah, it's really nice, because this all that's as forged. Just that surface texture is as forged. That's just the scale, and then the choil, that's as forged. I just cleaned up the spine and the clip and put the clip in, and then cleaned up the bolster things in here and cleaned up the tang a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. The tang's kicked up just a tad, but that's fine. I'll fix that up when I'm bluing the tang. But now we have the fun part, which is we have the fun part. We got manual 15-minute soak. So I gotta go in. Have a good day, Arthur. I won't burn myself. Alright, it's 40 minutes. 40 minutes in the stream. Go to 55. You made your forge? Nice. This one's kinda partially made. I obviously made the blower. I just got that done today, actually. And then the burner. This is the Atlas Plus forge. And I took the burner, which is that right there. That wasn't it. And I added the forced air blower. And it works great so far. The long propane canister, those make some good forges. I do want to make one out of those, out of something like that eventually, for like swords and big stuff. But like even this little thing, you crank the heat up, it can heat treat a sword. So. Yeah. I'm also currently working on getting this stuff together. I'm out of Pennsylvania. I'm working on getting this stuff together for a ceramic chip forge, which is basically like a forced air. It has to be forced air, bottom blast forge, where it blows the propane up through, burning, propane flame up through a big pile of ceramic chips. And like that heats up those ceramic chips, and it's like a coal forge but it runs on gas. They're sick. The farrier's rasps, I got those from a local farrier. I wanted to make a bunch of hatchets and stuff with them, so I just called him up and I was like, hey, I'm a blacksmith, and do you have any rasps you could give me? And he's like, heck yeah, I do. And he gave me 83 rasps. So, he is very cool. It was really nice. So I did the math, like the cheapest you can get those in bulk online is from Pop's Knife Supply, and they're $8 a rasp. It comes out to $8 a rasp on Pop's, and that's the cheapest you can get them online anywhere. And I got 80 for free. So like, yeah. But those are great material. working, call in your local farrier. If you need like old rasps or horseshoes, if you need like springs, you know, call your local auto shop, and maybe they can probably get some for you a heck of a lot cheaper than buying them. That's the thing about like blacksmithing and knife making, is it's one of like the few types of like crafts that can subside pretty much entirely, like materials wise, on like stuff other people are throwing away, if you know the right people. Because like you can go to like high-end cabinet shop or something like that, or a wood shop, and they'll just have like tons of like exotic wood offcuts that they'll just give to you. So yeah. Still on carbon. Yeah, those are nice for like chef's knives, especially where you really do kind of want it to be stainless. But just for like normal knives like this is 52-100, and that's about as high alloy as I go. So. And this is part of the reason. Manually soaking steel sucks. It's just like most of like the hammer handles and stuff I make are from firewood, and like the axe handles and stuff. It's all like either an old axe handle, or like a lot of my hammer handles are cut down from axe handles. And then like I don't really buy, if I'm just doing one-offs, then I'll just use like the reclaimed steel that I have around. If I'm doing a production run of something, like I'm doing a small production run of like little EDC knives, and like for those I bought a bar of steel because I want them all to be the same, and I don't want to have to bother like breaking down a whole ton of steel for $70 mini EDCs. You know, it's just not economical. But like if I'm doing customs, then I'm absolutely gonna like use recycled materials. Like for these, I'm going to be making most of these rasps into little Farrier's rasp hatchets, and like, sure I could make 80 hatchet handles out of just firewood. We have enough, but that would use up a ton of firewood, and it would take so much time to get all those done. Like, I'm gonna be buying slabs for those handles to cut those handles out of, because that's the most economical way to do it. Like, I don't know how much like production work you do. But I don't mess around with stuff like that for production work. I just buy the material or get it in such a way that it's all the same. Furnace Creek Forge. Yeah, I'll make sure I check that out. Traditional. We always have a furnace. Yeah, that's cool. Farrier's rests, I don't really like them for knives, because usually they're like, the thinnest you can get them is 3/16, which is what these are. But like, most of them are 1/4 inch thick, and your knife is either way too thick and the bevels are way too steep, or you grind it down and then there's no, like, hardly any texture left, you know? So I don't really like them for knives. But for like axes and stuff, they're amazing. Doing production work on it personal. Yeah, it's, I wish I could just do whatever the hell I want, but like, alright, well, a little bit about me. I'm 17, I'm graduating high school in a couple of months, and I'm hoping that I can just go straight into full-time blacksmithing, bladesmithing. Like, I got tons of hatchet materials, I got lots of knife materials. I'm hoping I can just go right into this. But we'll see. I do have a couple, like, part-time jobs, so I have some extra money coming in. But this is, like, I'm trying to make money here. You know what I mean? Got a pretty nice setup. Picked up 150 hey bud. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have the Harbor Freight Doyle anvil, which is one of, I think, in my opinion, it is the most cost-effective anvil on the market, on the new anvil market right now. And it's better than pretty much everything on the antique market, unless you get some lady selling a mint condition, like hay button for like $100. Like for the price, if you get lucky with like sale or something like that, you can get a 65-pound cast steel double horn anvil for less than $100 new. It's ridiculous. But yeah, if you got like a hay button or something like that, that's really nice. Ready? Quench. I think it was from 3/8 round, I think. It wasn't rebar, but... yeah, I just wish they had a version of the Doyle that was bigger. Like, if they had a version of the Doyle that was like 120 or 130 pounds, that would be like, that's good. That's good. But they don't, so. Shutdown routine for my forge. This is the same for pretty much every forced air forge ever. Gas off. And now you just leave the blower going until the forge is cool. Or you take the burner out. This one, it's not quite so bad. I'm gonna turn the blower off and then take the burner out. But you have to do one of those two things, because if you don't, then the hot air, especially if you have your burner coming in from the top, then all that hot air will float up into your blower and it's bad. But yes, there we go. But yeah. Yeah, 400 is a really good deal for that anvil. But yeah, there's my anvil. It's sitting right there. We got, let's see, that was a birthday gift. I got a little treadle hammer over there. I got, this forge was, I think, $440 shipped. Then this I got at a salvage sale for $35, best $35 I've ever spent. This was half a birthday gift, so I paid like $75 for that. This Grizzly 2x42 belt grinder was $300 shipped because I got it on a crazy sale, and then I've put another, let's see, these were like $45 between the two of them, and then random nuts and bolts and stuff. Maybe another like $50 for that setup, not including belts. Then this was like $150. So yeah, that's most of my like major tools. Oh yeah, forgot what I came over here for. But I'm just using motor oil because that's what I have. I haven't invested in any parks yet or AAA. I really should, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Ooh, it's still a little warm. Yeah, I can imagine that. The anvil market here in Pennsylvania isn't quite as insane, but it's still pretty bonkers. Clean that off. That's what I wanted to hear. It's tough because the edge is so thin, but like if you take a file and you run it across here, that's skating. That is absolutely skating. Beautiful. Now, you very carefully, emphasis on very carefully. This didn't warp, did it? Nah, we're good. Very, very carefully, wire wheel the scale off. Yep. I don't think I need to tell you what happens if you mess this up, but it is very, very frustrating. But this is an important step to take off all the oil scale, because that stuff will smoke out a kitchen real quick. And unless you have a heat treat oven, you're tempering in the toaster oven. Don't worry, that was a punch falling off the bench. But damn, that looks mint. Look at that. These flats are as forged. So the whole thing's beveled like that. And the edge is super thin, so I'm just gonna sharpen it basically. But you know, that was just punch falling off the workbench. But yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm kind of like torn between doing using shotgun brass for the bolster, which would look sick, or let's see, where is it? Not that. Not that. Not that. Nope. Nope. Come on, where is it? I know there's a little offcut in here somewhere. Nope. Oh. It's Damascus, from little Damascus offcut guard. Is it over here maybe? No, it doesn't look like. Or shotgun bolster, because I do still have one left. And obviously I'd get another block of walnuts. Let's see, is it over here? I don't know. It's somewhere. Yeah, walnut. I'm just not entirely sure how I'd make the transition from the brass to the walnut, but I think it would look cool. But yeah, there's that. Yeah, the shotgun bolster would be very cool. This is 12 gauge, so it's just a little bit, like it's a little bit smaller than I'd really want for a bolster. But I might run with that. Yeah, I don't have any stag or antler, so that's out of the question. And I want to use walnut for this because walnut is dope. So I'm definitely going to use walnut. But the shotgun would absolutely go great with antler. Alright, see you around, nerd. Sir, knifes a lot. I'm gonna get back to this thing. All right, there's our open position. So, sharpen the pencil. I'll use my $350 knife pencil sharpener. There we go. Now, just mark right across there. And trace all the way around. Like so. Come on, get out of there. Now, we go. Ooh, that's a little close, but it is what it is. Here's the thing. Ah, here it is. Well, let's cut that. Not nicely. Oh, I'll bet I could. Ah, yes. Yes. There we go. Hopefully that works better. Oh. There we go. Whew. It's cutting now. Alright, you heard it here first, folks. You can sharpen one of these with a triangle file. Where's my water bottle? I'm thirsty. What? That's good. Yes. But it needs to be deeper. It needs to be like up here. So we need another little bit. Maybe not that far, but like there somewhere. I can just leave that one. I don't have to pull that out every time. Maybe a little less detent there. Wish that was that much up here. That would be nice. That's French. I can tell that's French. I don't know what it says. I think something about making, but I'm making a folding knife. That's what I'm doing. Hello. There's still a lot. I'll come down to like there. Is that okay? Is that you don't know English? Maybe. Yeah, that's good. Now if I go there. Okay, well, we'll need a little bit more handle than that. But let's see, where's the darn? Here it is. Then this will be the bolster. Not like that, like that. Another that much, maybe. Yeah, I like that. This needs to be looser though, but we'll do that when we're finalizing it. So the handle's gonna go up to like here. Is my handle block big enough? Just barely. Whew. Heat treat this. See what I'll do. That's a little spot right there. I'm assuming the oil's still hot. Yes, that's still warm. Watch this. Another kick. Bang. Ooh, that's hot. Oh. I do still need this. YouTube likes it. I like the board. Yes. There we go. That's still back up. What's up, Professor Oak? No. There we go. That's the first thermocycle. They go quick on that little blades like that. But as we're burning too hot, well, that's like 1.5 psi. So, my blower's all the way up. It's just these little pipes I have are way too small. I need to get bigger blower burner pipes. But I could probably turn that on. That's 1.5 psi, and it's still heating up. It's nice and quiet though. This is the old burner I had for that forge, and I'll just show you. I guess. Yeah, show you. It pushed a lot more pressure, but like it's deafening. Much better to have the quiet one. This is a little hunter I forged earlier. Or not forged, heat treated. I forged it yesterday. But it basically just needs a guard and a handle and sharpened. So that'll be tempered along with this one. What's up? Manuel? Manuel? Is that right? I think that's right. Where is the rest of it? Obviously there's this, but there is more than that. I don't know. Look at that steel. It's nice. We're back. Oh, here it is. There's a little piece of Damascus. Yeah, definitely put that there for this. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. That's sick. Oh, it's not very. You can really see that Damascus now. Woohoo! Dead straight, too. Alrighty, that seems like a good place to stop today. We got this guy quenched, and we got the pivot filed, and this one heat treated as well. I'm going to take those up to get tempered. And yeah, that'll be it for today. So, thank you all for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And I'll be live again tomorrow, probably working on finishing this game. So, keep an eye out for that. And I might do some work on this as well. But yeah, see y'all. Have a good day.